Woolly nightshade is an invasive pest plant in New Zealand, characterised by its soft, hairy leaves and clusters of small, white to purple flowers. While it primarily poses a threat to native ecosystems by outcompeting indigenous flora, it also has significant health implications for humans. The fine hairs on its leaves can irritate the skin and respiratory tract, leading to allergic reactions or asthma exacerbations. And so, as woolly nightshade spreads, it not only disrupts local biodiversity, but also poses risks to human health, necessitating careful management and control efforts. Woolly nightshade is one of 4 pest plants that has been spreading unconstrained across the Gulf Harbour Country Club since the owner cut down many of the large trees and then, in 2023, closed the club and ceased all ground maintenance. If anyone wondered how important the work of the greenkeeping staff has been at the golf club over the last 20 or so years, then all that is needed is a walk around the cart paths and fairways and an eye for woolly nightshade, for gorse, Japanese honeysuckle, pampas. These plants are prolific, and on Sunday the 3rd of November, under the expert guidance of Deborah from Restore Hibiscus and Bays, these 4 invasive pest plants were lined up in the crosshair of the Gulf Harbour Community Trust for elimination from the Gulf Harbour Country Club land. Deborah was joined by 3 other purposeful leaders on the day. Jaden led a team of people focused on landscaping and weed removal around the grounds. Jason led a team of people focusing on removing all of the rubbish that has accumulated as the bins that were placed around the course at each tee for the use of golfers became a place to deposit all manner of other rubbish items, including, literally, thousands of dog poo bags. Even when the bins were full, rubbish seemed to have been deposited in the general direction of the bins and, together with the reality that the bins haven't been emptied for 18 months, created an unpleasant health hazard to anyone walking near or around them. Finally, Graham led a team of people who were focused on mowing one of the most overgrown and almost unrecognisable fairways on the whole course. Number 6, which has featured in a number of previous videos and maybe provided some of the underlying motivation for our community to turn up, focus and restore this land to something that we can all feel both proud of and happy to have our lives and our homes integrated with day by day. Our volunteer day started with everyone meeting at tee number 6 at 9 a.m. and an overall briefing followed by more detailed information from each of Deborah, Jaden, Jason and Graham. And then there was no holding back. Deborah's team literally had to just turn around and walk around 20 paces and there was a forest of woolly nightshade right there. Jaden's team set off on a purposeful walk back up the 5th fairway and all the way back to the top of the 4th hole and then spread themselves back to the 3rd and forward onto the fairway of the 4th. Jason, supported by Gary and a number of others, disappeared. We hardly saw them for the rest of the morning as their target was to remove every single piece of rubbish from the 89-hectare site. Graham and his team were gathered around with us on the tee. Their machines looked absolutely capable of making an impression on the 6th fairway. We would see just how difficult this task was when we gathered later in the day. I'll let the pictures do the talking. How's it going so far?
Oh, good. The whole team's really into it. It's actually incredible to see how motivated everyone is.
Fair comment, Phil. Mind you, I did do the toilets. Yeah. How's it going?
Not too bad.
So you get to do the good jobs.
Oh yeah, in the dog box, eh? But yeah, we're getting there, so it's only a few more to go.
Do you think we'll get them all done this morning?
Oh, we've done all the back 9.
Really?
And we're just covering up the 4th and the 3rd now. All the bins are gone.
They've gone?
Yeah, and they're all up at the burnt.
Did the tip truck just come onto it and just come round?
Brilliant.
You got onto it, haven't you?
Team's working really hard, really well, getting all the crap out of it so that they can get the lawnmowers on. And
Yeah.
but it's it's hard work, but hey, it's definitely worth it when you look at it now. It's superb. So yeah, good job, team.
Good job, team.
Good job, team.
Yeah.
Done and dusted for the rubbish collection.
Finished completely.
Finished completely.
Many of these have been sent by people who took them throughout the day. For every person who had registered to be part of the day, they had been pre-assigned to one of the teams. Their team leaders were expecting them and had a role and tools for them to use. Some people turned up on the day unannounced, and we also found roles for them within the teams. I think everyone who came to work would agree that there is a lot to do, and it is hard work. We deliberately restricted the time allocated to this work to the morning only because we envisaged that it would drain energy out of most people. And I think it did. By the time that 12:30 came around, just about everybody was very thankful for team number 5, the barbecue team. Generously hosted by Greg, the barbecue team of Ginny, Chris, Shelley, Debbie, and yes, Greg as well, had created a smorgasbord of refreshment which had been amply earned by the hard-working teams that morning. Burgers, sausages, salad, as well as plenty of choice of liquid refreshment were wonderfully laid out for everyone, and because of our location, the work that has been done by those mowing machines was absolutely evident in front of us. So, we have been holding ourselves accountable to a scorecard. All of the generous donations that have been made are focused on turning all of these circles on the scorecard from red to orange to green. And all of the donations have been focused on this goal. We did not even need to use the donations given to pay for the barbecue, as everything that was provided came from our sponsors. So every circle on the bottom line is now green. All rubbish around the golf course has been collected and removed from site. Unfortunately, it seems that some people are now using the site of the demolished buildings to dump all manner of other items. This is not in scope of our plan to address. Jaden's team have completed the makeover of the 3rd hole, path edging, pathway cleared, bunkers tended to, and now we're at the point of regularly mowing the grass. The 4th hole is not completed, we still have much to do, but the tee area is transformed and many people were working for the whole morning and they delivered an outstanding outcome. And further evidence of the presence of that team as they spread down the slope to the fairways and bunkers lower down. Clearly there's more to do, but the reclamation of that fairway and environment is well underway. Deborah's team faced a Herculean task just in that one stand of woolly nightshade. They decimated it and even had time to move on to some other pest plants further away from the 6th tee. Deborah suggested that once anyone has taken the time to educate themselves on pest plants, it becomes difficult to look at nature in quite the same way again. That team now have first-hand experience of just what it takes to disestablish a determined weed from further growth and spread. And every single person in that team will now walk around the countryside and even just the golf course and see every outbreak of woolly nightshade and understand just what it takes to stop its spread. And that was just one of 4 pest plants that the team were focused on. Graham's team transformed Fairway 6. The combination of Graham number 1 on his Cub Cadet, Ash from Gatman Mowers and More, Callum from Whangaparoa Golf Club and Graham number 2 on the John Deere completely transformed the 6th fairway. Words cannot do it justice. So our scorecard now looks like this. The entire bottom row is now green. Let's all try to keep it that way. Please encourage people you know who walk the course, especially with pets, to take their litter home with them. The top row is almost all green. We will publish one more update in a week or so, and I think we feel confident that all of these dots will be green by then. We do have quite a bit more work to do on fairways 4 and 15, and then we will make a start and hopefully finish fairways 5 and 16. By finish, we mean that we will be to the point of regular maintenance, which will involve mowing for 2 half days a week for the first 3 weeks of every month. We are hopeful that this will enable us to mow the entire course every single month. We are still gaining knowledge and experience of the rate at which the machines we have the use of consume fuel and require maintenance, so we may need to adjust that plan as we learn. There are more bunkers and pathways that need to be brought to that maintainable level. We will continue to work on that as we look at our plans for Volunteer Day 2 and beyond. The most obvious area of challenge will remain around the spread of pest plants and weeds, and this is likely to remain an area of focus for some time. So we will continue to work across the golf course. You will have seen that a judicial review has been lodged by the owner of the golf course, Long River Investment Corporation, to overturn the council decision to publicly notify the resource consent lodged in November last year. This resource consent application was the first step to obtain consent to build houses on the golf course. Our legal advisors are of the view that there is little prospect that the court will find in favour of Long River. But the case will probably not come to court for this year and is potentially 6 months away, and so it is unlikely that anyone else is going to care for the environment we live in beyond those people who volunteer for the kind of engagement and work that was undertaken on Sunday. There is an opportunity for you to get involved this coming Sunday, the 10th of November. If you come, we promise we will have meaningful work for you to do. We also can commit to another barbecue every bit as good as the one enjoyed this last weekend. But we would like you to register, please, because it gives us the opportunities to plan for your involvement as we organise tools and set out the scope of our efforts this coming Sunday. You can register by email at comms@kwgnz.org. At our barbecue this coming Sunday, we would like to take a few minutes to discuss with everyone the ongoing level of effort that we need to consider, and also the framework in which we organise ourselves to achieve our ongoing goals of maintaining an environment which we can all be proud to live in. Thank you again to everyone who has taken part or has donated. We will continue to post occasional reminders of our 3 Men Went to Mow campaign and help to make it as easy as possible to contribute financially to what we are trying to achieve. You will find the small laminated cards with the QR code that you can scan with your phone at Cherries Cafe, Next Bar and Eatery, Gulf Harbour Food Market, Harbour Liquor, and at Gatman Mowers and More in Silverdale. We would also like to thank our long-term partners at Gatman Mowers and More. Ash and his team have been a consistent and generous partner for many weeks now, and there is no doubt that we would not have made anything like the progress we have without their consistent support, the loan of their equipment, physical presence helping us. We owe them a lot. We also have a new partner in We Do Landscaping. Jaden and his team have equipped us with most of the tools we have needed to manicure and sometimes to even find the bunkers and paths around the course. They even provided a tip truck this last weekend, which substantially enabled Jason and the team to be so effective in removing the rubbish from site. We also received sponsorship this weekend from the Coast Clinic in Coast Plaza, Woolworths at Coast Plaza, and Cherry Cafe from our own village here in Gulf Harbour. This sponsorship was for our barbecue, and we are super grateful for all of their support. As we suggested in the last update video, this community has strength, purpose and resilience. We are proving to ourselves that we have the ability to look after the environment that we live in, despite overwhelming odds that would suggest otherwise. It is disappointing that the owner of the property has not stepped up to this responsibility. But this will not deter us from doing all that we can to maintain a healthy and positive environment for all of us to live our day-to-day lives. Thank you once again. We have experienced this weekend that while it is great to be able to communicate over social media and to give a thumbs up or to offer an encouraging comment, there is nothing that actually beats meeting up with the people who live around us and having a laugh and working together on a worthwhile endeavour. This last weekend was purposeful and great fun, and I would like to make special note of the very generous donation that Whangaparoa Golf Club made by allowing one of their mowers and Callum who volunteered his time to support us this weekend. Let's make it an even better one this coming weekend, and don't forget to register.